Hi guys, so doubt is a dangerous thing when you're a politician, but it's probably one of the worst things for a Home Secretary. You're tasked with protecting the nation and maintaining law and order. The Education Secretary or even the Health Secretary can get away with a level of doubt levelled against them from supporters of the government. But when it comes to the position Priti Patel holds, doubt is a completely different issue. It appears some doubt has already set in. The problem for her is that the people who were singing her praises some months ago have in the last number of weeks begun to doubt her, and others have gone further, saying that she has betrayed them. Patel played a stupid game. She fed red meat to the racists and bigots in Britain, hoping that they would be on her side, and she loved it. She believed she could keep them in her camp by appearing tough. The tragedy in the Channel demonstrated that she is not in control, and the racists and bigots see this. A bigger problem for Patel is that she has few allies in government. Yes, Boris Johnson has come to her aid in the past, but even he has been slow to defend her recently. The voters are slowly turning on the Tories over this. Backbenchers know this, and they're redirecting their ire towards Patel. She unleashed forces that she couldn't handle, and it will be her undoing. Here she attempts to answer a question from backbencher Brexiteer Sir Edward Lee.
What an appalling and entirely foreseeable tragedy. Will the Home Secretary agree with me that we cannot wait on her excellent bill? We cannot wait on the French cooperating with us and taking these poor people back, as they should. We have to act now in a national emergency to save lives. There are only two countries in the world who have solved this problem. Australia, which has an offshore processing centre,
which has been condemned by the likes of Amnesty International.
And Greece, that does pushback.
Another country that has been condemned by Amnesty International. Pushback as in sending the Navy or the Coast Guard out to stop boats from arriving. Now, of course, Australia and Greece are completely different to the UK.
We have to be tough. We have to face down the human rights lawyers.
We have to be tough. We have to face down the human rights lawyers. This is the type of rhetoric you find on a Brexiteer YouTube channel.
If governments are weak, people die.
Deputy Speaker, well, just in response to my right honourable friend's colleagues, I echo his frustration fully. Now, in terms of toughness, I've been very clear, and I know this does upset some right honourable and honourable members in this House. I have not ruled anything out. And I put every option on the table, not just with France, by the way, but with other counterparts. Greece, in terms of pushbacks, they actually have special forces, they use their military, they use a Hellenic Coast Guard, and they use Frontex as well, just for the record for this House. As I said, I've seen that. They also have a programme of reception centres, which my right honourable friend will know and is aware of. That is part of the plan for the new plan for immigration as well, in terms of how we have differentiation, how we deal with the reform of the asylum system and casework progressing as well. The fact of the matter is, there is no one silver bullet solution to this, and I know he understands this, and I know my colleagues do as well. That is why the new plan for immigration is important and the Nationality and Borders Bill. All colleagues will hear shortly in terms of the bill coming back to report stage in this House and the next stages with that bill. That bill is an important piece of legislation, Madam Deputy Speaker, because it will set the direction of travel, and importantly, it will give the government more powers to actually be much, much firmer, and it will end many of the pull factors that have existed for too long and actually have helped to facilitate and encourage illegal migration.
Illegal migration. Now, of course, she has to play the tough girl, the tough lady, because that's what she needs to keep her supporters on board. But she's running out of steam because they have decided, look, she's not doing what we want her to do. She's not sending in the Navy, sending in the Coast Guard, sending in the SAS, for example. That was one of the comments I read today. They're turning on her. She was their greatest asset. They believed she could be the next Prime Minister. And the racists and bigots have turned on the Conservative Party. They see them as weak. They see them as facilitating this, as not interested in really dealing with this issue. Now, I completely disagree with them, but this is what you're seeing when you read comments online from the racists and the bigots, they used to be a few months ago completely supportive of her. Now they see her as weak. And, a lot of these people are Brexiteers, and they voted for Brexit to take back control. And they're looking at what's happening at the moment, and they see this is not taking back control. We haven't taken back control. Why are these people arriving in the country if we've taken back control? So they're turning on the government. And the Conservatives are extremely concerned because these people will go elsewhere with their votes. And recently, Nigel Farage has stuck his head above the parapet and said that he's willing to rejoin politics if necessary. This would create a massive headache for the Conservative Party. This is not Brexit anymore. This is immigration. And I don't see Farage doing a deal with the Conservatives like he did with the Conservatives when it came to Brexit back in 2019. I don't see him doing something like that unless there's some benefit in it for him. But the racists and the bigots have, it seems, begun to turn on the Conservative Party. They're no longer seeing Priti Patel as someone tough. And as I said, there's a concern for the Tories that they will go elsewhere. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.